Good evening, I'm Camelia and this is KiniNews. Najib Abdul Razak has been convicted and sent to prison. However, he is still Pekan MP. NGOs are calling for this to change.
The government has been urged to repeal a provision of the federal constitution which allows Najib Abdul Razak to remain as an MP until his royal pardon process is completed. In a joint statement, a group of NGOs called for the immediate repeal of Article 48(4)(c) of the federal constitution. This is to prevent any unjustified further delay in an MP's disqualification so affected constituencies can choose a new representative. The statement was issued by human rights activist Charles Hector on behalf of 4 NGOs, including Aliran, Malaysians Against Death Penalty and Torture, Saya Anak Bangsa Malaysia, and Workers' Hub for Change. Charles said the NGOs believe that a parliamentarian convicted of a crime like Najib should immediately be disqualified as an MP after all appeals against criminal conviction are over. He said Malaysians have waited for 4 years after Najib was first charged in July 2018 over the SRC international case to the date the federal court rejected his final appeal last month. He insisted there is no longer any reasonable justification to delay the disqualification of the criminal MP once the appeal processes are over. He also said the pardon has nothing to do with the fact that the said MP has been proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt, convicted and sentenced. The group also felt that Najib should not be granted a royal pardon. Charles said a pardon should only be for repentant convicts who are sorry for their crime and have reformed, not just because the criminal is a former political leader.
Khairi may have been sidelined by UMNO many times throughout his political career, but he has denied rumors that he is leaving the party.
Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin has admitted he has been isolated in UMNO. However, he said he remains steadfast with UMNO. The Rembau MP was responding to rumors that he is quitting the party. He pointed out how, when he was elected UMNO youth chief but not appointed in the cabinet and was isolated. However, he said when BN lost in the 14th general election, there were all sorts of political prosecution, but he remained with UMNO. He also said he stayed with UMNO even after losing the UMNO presidential race and was viewed differently. And now he has to look for a new area to contest in, but he's still with UMNO. Ending his Instagram post today, he said UMNO then, now and forever. Khairi said he prefers not to entertain such rumors, but was forced to make a statement after receiving many messages asking him about his future with UMNO. This comes following reports that the former party youth chief has been asked to make way for UMNO Deputy President Muhammad Hassan to contest in Rembau. Khairi is a 2-term MP in Rembau, but Muhammad is the Rembau UMNO Division Chief. Khairi confirmed he will make way for Muhammad and does not have a constituency to contest in so far. He said in the worst-case scenario, he may sit out GE15, which is speculated to be within months.
Malaysia Kini is offering a very special subscription promotion in conjunction with Malaysia Day. This is the final day. You can redeem the promotion by scanning the QR code and by using the code KiniTV916. Now back to our program. Some have called Zahid selfish for pushing for early elections. However, according to him, he's doing to stop Pakatan Harapan.
BN Chief Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said the coalition wants to put a stop to Pakatan Harapan's ongoing nationwide campaign to discredit the ruling coalition. Zahid said this is why BN wants an early general election. He also reminded the opposition and non-BN parties that the 1999 general election was held in November. Zahid, who is the UMNO president, has been labelled as selfish for insisting on an early election this year. He added that Harapan is trying to incite the people by claiming that holding a general election this year will expose them to floods. Zahid pointed out that Dr. Mahathir Mohamad himself held a general election in November 1999 and it was not a big issue. He said the opposition is afraid of fighting a losing battle, knowing that public confidence in Harapan was low. Yesterday, Klang MP Charles Santiago lambasted Zahid for prioritizing the holding of a general election, even if there will be floods. Amanas said it was heartless for the UMNO president to say BN was prepared to go to the polls if it is held during the monsoon season later this year.
And now, Bersatu's Muhyiddin Yassin appears to be on the same page as his UMNO counterpart on when the election should be held.
Perikatan National Chairperson Muhyiddin Yassin has joined calls by BN for Parliament to be dissolved. This makes Muhyiddin Yassin the latest politician to put pressure on Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob to call for the general election. Although he claims not to be pushing Ismail Sabri, Muhyiddin said it is perhaps best for the election to take place if the economy cannot be better managed. He said it would be best for a general election to be called, so a new, more efficient, caring and corrupt-free government can be chosen by the people. Muhyiddin added that as chairperson of the National Recovery Council, he is aware how Malaysians are currently struggling with the depreciating ringgit, rising inflation and post-pandemic economic woes. He said the poor economic stewardship is likely the reason why only a third of those polled are satisfied with Ismail Sabri's performance as PM. To show how Malaysians are struggling, Muhyiddin cited a study by the Merdeka Centre in December, showing that 12% of Malaysians surveyed are skipping meals, delaying medical procedures, while almost a third are late in paying bills.
And according to Ahmad Maslan, even the Prime Minister appears to agree that the election should be held this year.
UMNO Secretary General Ahmad Maslan is confident that the 15th general election will be held this year. He said Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob's statement about the dissolution being within a short time clearly shows that GE15 will be held as soon as possible. He said this to reporters during the Farmers' Sports Carnival in conjunction with Malaysia Day in Pontian, Johor yesterday. Ahmad was commenting on Ismail Sabri's speech on Saturday, which hinted that GE15 is not too far away. Ahmad also said UMNO has held mass meetings in all states. He added that all preparations have been completed and what is left is the updating of the party machinery and portfolios at the polling district centres.
Rina Harun has been asked to roll up her sleeves and get the job done after she lamented that the number of child protection officers need to be increased immediately.
Women, Family and Community Development Minister Rina Harun has been urged to recruit more child protection officers under the Social Welfare Department instead of complaining about the lack of resources. In making the call, Batukawan MP Kasturi Pato reminded Rina of her role to raise the matter in the cabinet and push for an urgent increase of officers dedicated to children. Kasturi pointed out that the lack of manpower was identified by Pakatan Harapan during its 22-month stint in Putrajaya with a recruitment plan in place. However, it was not pursued by the subsequent governments. Kasturi also noted that Rina's statement was only made after the last report incident of child abuse involving an 8-year-old boy in Taman Cahaya, Ampang, as well as his 6-year-old sibling, allegedly at the hands of their aunt and uncle. As a long-term solution, the DAP MP called on the government to table a social workers profession bill in the next Dewan Rakyat sitting. She also said as a minister in the cabinet, Rina need not lament on social media for brownie points on what she ought to do instead of actually rolling up her sleeves and doing it herself.
Muda says it will not clash with Harapan in GE15 as it hopes to contest in seats held by others.
Muda has clarified that the party is solely aiming to contest in non-Pakatan Harapan seats in the 15th general election. Muda Deputy President Amira Aisha said this will comprise seats vied by BN, Perikatan Nasional, and their respective component parties. In a statement today, she said when Muda announced its intention to participate as a Harapan component party last week, she also emphasized two main points. Firstly, the seats that Muda is targeting for GE15 are UMNO BN and PN seats, including Bersatu and PAS. Secondly, Muda's main mission for GE15 is to ensure victory for the people and the opposition bloc. This was said in response to PKR Deputy President Rafizi Ramli saying that overlapping seats would be avoided through negotiations between the two parties in an effort to reach a mutual agreement. Harapan is said to be currently negotiating among its component parties first, which will be completed by September 30.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. Don't forget to use our special promo code KiniTV916. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.